Let's bring in former Deputy National Security Advisor KT McFarland. She joins us now. KT, let me pick up right where we left off there, because you can understand why an IDF spokesman would not necessarily preview what the response might be, and that becomes a strategic political decision for the leadership of Israel. From where you sit, what do you think the Israeli response look like? And likewise, if you're looking at it through the lens of America First, what should our response be?
Well, I think that to a certain extent, President Biden has really limited Israel's responses because, on one hand, the Iranians escalated this, right? It was a direct attack by Iran on Israel and all of the Iran proxies on Israel, so a combined direct attack. But on the other hand, the United States and the United Kingdom and France and Jordan, they joined in the defense of Israel, which I wasn't really expecting. So President Biden, leading that through the U.S. Central Command, leading that response and sort of deflecting and catching all the missiles before they hit Israel. So there were sort of two major things going on. Israel's now in a position where Biden has basically said to them, don't escalate, don't respond. Iran has said, that's it for now. Don't worry about anything unless Israel does something else. So it's all kind of muddy. Now, in my 50-some years in this line of work, when stuff gets muddy and confusing, I think it's time to take a step back and look at the big picture. The big picture is follow the money. Why was Iran able to do this in the first place? Why was he not able to do this in the Trump administration? Iran is rich right now, thanks to Biden's policies, not only freeing revenues to go to Iran and allowing Iran to sell oil on the international market, but basically Biden's energy policy has driven up the price of oil. Iran is rich. It can keep fighting for a long time.
You know, it's so interesting how you lay that out, because we've been talking about that all morning. Iran was broke under Donald Trump. Iran is rich right now. So, I mean, this is the Biden administration. Is it that they care so much more about their climate religion that they don't care how it destabilizes the Middle East and enriches, you know, Iran? Or is there something more intentional and nefarious going on?
You know, I would say it might be the latter, except if you look at the Biden administration's sort of zealotry on the climate issue, and in fact, destroying the climate argument they make, because what's the substitute for dirty oil and dirty coal? Clean American natural gas, liquefied natural gas. And yet the Biden administration is standing in the way of that. So it's not just that Iran got rich, it's Russia got rich. You know, when Donald Trump comes out and says, well, they would never have done that, Russia would never have done it, Iran never would have done it when I was president, well, that's actually quite true. Now, President Trump likes to say it's because he was so tough. Well, that's part of it. But the big part of it is they didn't have the money. You know, Iran would love to attack Israel, would love to destroy Israel. For 45 years, they've tried to do that. Russia would love to take over Ukraine. They've wanted to do it since the end of the Cold War, but they never had the money until now. And it was directly as a result of Biden's energy policies, in particular with the case of Iran, allowing Iran to sell oil.
KT, as you point out, you have 57 years of experience at this, something we can't bring to bear on how this sort of works, but we're clearly on the ladder. We're on the escalation ladder. It starts with October 7th. Israel's analysis, correctly, is that Iran is behind in helping fund what happens on October 7th. Israel climbs a rung of the ladder and takes out Iranian Revolutionary Guard general in Damascus. Iran climbs up another step of the ladder now and says, OK, well, we're going to launch all these drone and missile attacks for the first time directly from Iran onto Israel. What's the next step on the ladder? What happens next, KT? When Israel climbs the next rung, what does it look like?
Well, if Israel does climb the next rung, the question will be a couple things. Will the Biden administration support Israel? Will it stand on the sidelines? God forbid would it support Iran? And then what would Iran do? Iran has a lot of missiles left and a lot of drones left that it could launch another attack. You know, unless you follow the money, unless you deny Iran the financial ability to wage an expensive war, Iran is going to keep waging these wars. Iran has had the same goal since the Iranian Revolution in 1978, 1979. Get the United States divided from Israel, drive a wedge between the U.S. and Israel, and then once Israel is isolated, go in and finish the job. And that's where they think they are now. They think they have a wedge between the United States and Israel. And so President Biden thinking, well, if we step back from Israel a little bit, you know, it's going to be great for us politically in Dearborn, Michigan. We're going to win Michigan. We're going to run re-election. But on the other hand, they're making a bigger war much more likely, because if Israel looks alone, then Iran goes in for the kill. They've made it really clear for 45 years that's what they want to do.
Katie, really quick before we go. So you talk about follow the money, but it's also follow the politics. So you alluded now to the domestic politics that are influencing this on Biden's side. But what about the domestic politics in Israel?
Well, that's going to drive a lot of the decision-making that's going to happen in the next 24 hours. You know, can Israel absorb this attack from Iran, or will Israel domestic politics insist that it's got to respond in some way? Like maybe going after where those missiles and drones are launched from. There's a lot of domestic politics at play in every side, and particularly right now with Iran. You know, the mullahs had to respond to that Israeli assassination of the leader. They had to do something. They haven't done a whole lot. They haven't killed any Israelis so far that we know of. So maybe it rests there, maybe it escalates. And so it's domestic politics in Iran, in Israel, and in the United States.
Yeah.
Yep. And Joe says don't, and lots of things still happen. So, KT, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.